Hey there, welcome to My Green Pets. I'm William Green. The landscape has changed quite a bit in the grow tent, the big warm tent, in the past week or so. I've moved the Cycnoches that were definitely done blooming over to the other side, off the back wall here, so that the Cattleyas that are underneath are finally getting some good light again. And hopefully that's going to help them look a little better. Some of the growth that I have been seeing back here, like this Blossfeldiana, size is nice, but was kind of floppy. Same with this gaskelliana back here, kind of floppy, leaned all the way back. So I'm hoping that a little bit more light is gonna make them happier. I see sheaths, but no buds so far on Cattleya maxima caerulea. Looks like 3 sheaths so far, and maybe we'll get some blooms on this once this last growth is done. Also, a new sheath poking out of the newest growth on Cattleya trianae Cashens. So we've got 3 sheaths so far, and we've got another growth opening here and 2 more growths down here, so we might get some more sheaths on that as well. These Cattleya purpurata putting out a nice new leaf here, and its cousin Pulcherrima over here putting out a new growth. Not big enough to bloom yet, but maybe the next growth will be. Hopefully you can see that last one was pretty big, so hopefully we're going to go up from there. A couple growths here on Cattleya dowiana rosita, and then my other rosita clone back here is just pushing out its newest growth as well. Really nice new growth on this Cattleya rex of my own breeding. This is Inti by Killa, and it's just been stuck to this little antler for several years now, and it looks like it's finally picking up steam here. This is like a really nice new growth on that plant. Up here we've got Cycnoches, fire embers, and it's got another growth pushing out after pushing out 3 earlier in the season, looking spectacular. It's not done yet. It's going to try to push 1 more. Down here, one more Cattleya to look at. This is Cattleya Hardyana, and it's got a nice new growth pushing out. It started one earlier in the season down here, but it kind of just stopped. So maybe it'll start again in the spring. I don't know. We'll see. Also, one of my Peruflora Cattleya rexes is well into a new growth down here. Really exciting. This is definitely the furthest along, the best looking of all of them. Some new growths as well on my Cattleya jenmanii. This is an alba. 2 new growths on that. This thing's just been steadily growing since it was a little seedling, and not giving me any trouble at all. It's been looking great. Next to it we've got Clowesia Northen Mikabi. Fingers crossed that these spikes actually come out and bloom for us. Never seen Mikabi do much in my care, but really decreasing the water. I mean, the medium is still kind of soft, but it feels pretty, just slightly damp, and I don't know if I'm going to be watering it much after this, maybe once or twice, but they're going to be light waterings. So hopefully we'll get these flowers to come all the way out and bloom for us. Next to it, another Northen. This is Aurora. This came from SVO a few years ago, and it's already bloomed, shed its flowers, and now pushing out new spikes where that first spike was. And then it's got another one right here around the corner that it's working on, plus several more opening up Now, over here, got a whole nice group of them opening up. And the flowers lasted a couple weeks. Nice, smell wonderful. Very pretty. Cycnoches bronze Vixen usually blooms twice a season, and I think we can expect this little bump here to emerge in the coming weeks as a new spike, and see some more flowers on that. So far I'm not seeing anything on Cycnoches warscewiczii, but I am hopeful. Even though its crown got rotted out as it was growing this summer, I'm hopeful that it might try to bloom off of one of the lower nodes. Who knows? Hope so. This Amorphophallus konjac is kind of doing its thing. I know that these go dormant at some point in the year, but I'm gonna let it tell me when it wants to do that. But I will start reducing water and letting it dry out a little bit. My Killa moranensis is pushing out a beautiful little bloom there. It's gonna be nice. And over here, my Phalaenopsis philippinensis is working on a new leaf, but also a second spike. You can see it spiked earlier this year, got an award at the Denver Orchid Society fall show, and now it's going to try to push a new spike out. It's always fun. I moved my big basket of Bulbophyllum, lepidum, and lovely Elizabeth over here to the wall. It's not, the light's kind of at an angle to it, but we'll see how it does. If it grows a little bit more slowly, I'm actually okay with that. But we're still getting little spikes here and there pushing out, so we might get a new one here pretty soon. And then all the other Bulbophyllum are over here kind of hanging out together, and we're just watching, and they probably need to be repotted. Some of them are divided, but right now we're just gonna put them back here and let them grow. Bulbophyllum echinolabium Hal has a new growth down here, you can see. And the previous growth is a nice color, but you can see the tip of the leaf is starting to yellow, and I don't know how to stop that. I don't know what I need to do. I do have a smaller echinolabium as well. They came from In-Situ Orchids. It's a seedling, and I want that leaf to look nice and green like this without any yellowing at the tip. So, not sure what's lacking or what is in excess. Right behind it we can see my Bulbophyllum Rothschildianum, and looks really nice. The bulbs have really fattened up, so that's very encouraging. And you can see there's a nice new little leaf poking up back there as well, and some new roots too. So that's great. Probably no blooms this year on this plant, but maybe next year. Be really nice. And then back here we've got my two Cycnoches cooperi. We've got copper here and bronze behind it. Certainly don't expect anything else out of these guys. They've done their duty for the year, and I'm gonna just slowly let them dry out, and maybe a couple more waterings, but as their leaves continue to yellow, I'm just gonna let them slowly dry out and go to sleep for the dry season. Alright, let's have a look at the cool tent and any other goodies that we've got here. As we approach the end of October, this little tent is certainly becoming the cool tent. Night temperatures in here are quickly approaching 60 degrees, just above, and it won't be long before it might even be dipping a little bit below that. But the high temperatures in our current autumn weather are no more than 70 degrees, which I believe is something like 21 Celsius. So it is finally reclaiming its title as the cool tent. And that's because a lot of these plants are highland plants that really benefit from those cooler temperatures, especially in the winter time. I've been told that these brassicas need a cooler winter in order to really get the blooms going in the spring. Same with this Clowesia, Pulcherrima, and even the Phalaenopsis and Masdevallia are going to really benefit from those cooler temperatures. Pretty excited about that. In terms of what might be flowering, well, first of all, you can see Masdevallia Machu Picchu's almost constantly in bloom. It's always working on something. I love these guys that kind of just grow all year round. I'm hoping that the Phalaenopsis will bloom in the spring, maybe sooner. I'm also hoping for something out of the Clowesia. This plant, Dendrochilum tenellum, is already working on its newest growth. Let me see if I can isolate one for you. You can see right there, that little grassy thing. And as these get a little bit taller, we should see flowering spikes on the newest growths. So this should be blooming in January or February, which is always welcome that time of year. And then also this plant, my Zygopetalum maculatum, I kind of gave it an inspection earlier today, and it looks as if it is going to spike as well. I'm seeing something. It spikes as the new growths are emerging, and I can definitely see something down here in the bottom side of this new growth, as well as in this new growth. You can see that the leafy part is here, and then I think this part here is going to be the flower buds. So fingers crossed that keeps growing out, and in the next couple months we should have some Zygopetalum blooms. So that is super great. It definitely seems to be growing faster than it did when I first got it. I think it just took some time to really get established, but it is growing at a pretty decent pace now, and I'm really happy with the way the new bulbs came out. They are definitely bigger than the last, so that's a good sign that the plant is pretty happy and established. We've got 3 new growths on it, which is also a good thing to see, and I'm just going to keep it, not let it dry out, but definitely water it a little bit less over the next couple months, and then as spring comes, increase the watering a little bit. In the carnivorous world, this tends to be a season of more flowers for the Pinguicula. So you can see this little pirouette's got a little flower, and I'm hoping that these moranensis also will bloom. Obviously the smaller ones won't, but the larger plants should try to push out a flower or two. Over here in the realm of the Nepenthes, we're starting to see some real size on Nepenthes Raja by Edwardsiana. Although last week I noticed that this leaf was getting a little bit yellow along the edges. I don't like that one bit, but everything's a learning curve with these plants. It does appear that this newest picture is really going to be nice. If the last one was this big, I'm hoping maybe something twice that big. I mean, if you look at the leaf on that one compared to the leaf on this one, I mean, if there's any kind of proportionality here, I would expect that this is going to be a pretty decent picture. Same back here, you can see that we have a developing picture on my Nepenthes Bongso cross, and it appears that there's a little bit more green appearing in those older leaves that I thought had just given up, turned yellow, and were going to be done. So I don't know, it could be the cooler temperatures, it could be my watering. I'm trying to not water as much. Like, I think I was keeping these really soaking wet all the time, and I'm just trying to give them a little bit more of a dry out before watering. I did use a syringe full of my usual fertilizer solution and injected a lot of these little baby Nepenthes pitchers with some fertilizer water, as been recommended to me by other Nepenthes growers. So we'll see if we see these guys green up. Some of them are quite yellowish red, really not a bright green color at all. So I don't know if that necessarily means they're not healthy, but green does seem to be the best color for leaves. That's what I think anyway. Alright, Alright, I think that's just about all we're going to look at today. Thanks for stopping by. I'm William Green, and see you next time right here on My Green Pets. Bye-bye.